SMMA, social media marketing. What actually is it, and how do you get started with doing your own? The same way that I've been running mine for the past 13 or 14 months. In today's video, what I'm going to be doing is actually breaking down every single separate component of my agency, showing you how I do things, why I do it, actually explaining the logic behind that, so you can go ahead, rewatch this, take your own interpretation on it, your own spin on it, and actually put it into action to build your own agency for yourself. So let's get into it. My name's Emmett, and the reason for this video is not only to go into my agency, but explain a little about the reason that I do things as well. So in my life, I like to have something to focus on and actually work towards, and it was always the gym and working out up until about May 2023, at which point I hurt my left shoulder, and it's been a bit of a difficult one to overcome, to say the least, shall we say. But my initial train of thought was, if I can't do gym, let's go ahead and do something else. And naturally for me, that was SMMA and trying to build a business that way. I came across it in July 2023 when I actually watched Jordan Platten's video, Building an Agency from Scratch. And I looked at that and I thought, that looks easy. If he can do it that simply, then so can I. Little did I realize that wasn't actually going to be the case. And I went in with a lot of optimism, only to realize what I was actually up against. And I've overcome that initial wall, and I'm now in the building phase where I actually want to go ahead and lay some foundations for my business, and this is exactly how I'm doing that. So when it comes to actually running an agency, I'm not saying I run a successful one just yet, but I've seen a little bit of success given the amount of time that I have. And for any beginners, you might be able to take a lesson or two. But I would say probably the single most important thing that has allowed me to get to where I'm at is actually summarized in one word, and that is focus. And whenever I say focus, I mean focus on one niche or one market, one problem that you're trying to solve for those guys, one service that you're actually using to solve that problem. Because whenever you pour all this energy, all of this work into learning how one market works, how one niche works, and how the people in that think, you can learn a lot more in a lot quicker of a time. Same for the service. If you're developing a service and you're spending so much time on this one thing, it's going to develop so much faster than developing two, because all of a sudden your energy is split in half and you're not able to actually develop the service in a way that somebody would if they were only focused on that thing and that thing only, and actually able to dedicate their entire day, all of their time and all of their energy towards that. It's like if you think of it as like lighting a fire, for example, with a microscope. You're able to set that microscope up, let the sun pass through it, all of that energy goes through, and it's all focused on one singular point. And the reason that that's able to start a fire and bring so much life to a community or to a person, I'm going back to medieval times here at this stage, the reason that that's able to happen is because of the fact that there's focus. It's only one thing that's actually happening, and it's one source of energy being directed towards one particular goal. And that is lighting a fire, or in this instance, actually developing a service that solves a particular problem for a particular niche. So to summarize, we've got one niche, one market, one problem, and one service. And by focusing all our energy on those, we'll be able to solve it a lot faster. But on top of that, something that I'm seeing the benefit of is more focus in life in general. So whenever I say this, I just mean cutting out the shit that isn't actually going to benefit you. I don't know, nights out, casual drinking after class or something like that. It's just not necessary. And whenever you're doing that, it's time spent away not only from work, but it's time spent away from thinking about work. And you'll know the saying, you're a product of your environment, you're a product of your thoughts. The more time that you spend away from work, the desired goal that you're trying to get to, and the more time that you spend doing these things that really don't actually contribute to where you want to go, the less inclined you're going to be to actually sit down and work, and the less likelihood you're going to have of achieving those goals in the first place. And that's why your environment, the people you surround yourself with, and the things that you actually do on a day-to-day basis are so important towards getting to that goal. So what do all of these things actually mean for me? So let's go through the niche first. My niche is mortgage advisors. I work with mortgage advisors here in the UK, and the reason that I chose that niche was because I have a certain level of experience in the industry already. My father's been a mortgage advisor for 25 years. I study economics at university, and having that contextual knowledge gives me a certain level of authority when it comes to speaking with these guys. They see that I actually know what I'm speaking about, and it makes them more inclined to want to actually work with me because they have the confidence they'll be able to go ahead and solve their problems. So whenever you're picking your niche, What you want to do is go ahead, analyze your life as it is. What skills do you already have? Who do you know? What's actually going to be the easiest for you to get it? Not necessarily the easiest, but what do you have the competitive advantages in already? You're looking for the path of least resistance so that you can generate that success in signing clients and delivering for them as fast as possible. And that gets us on to the problem that I help them solve. So the problem that I solve for these guys is lead and client generation. So one leads into the other. You can't have clients without leads. So getting leads is the first thing that I do. And it's universal. It's something that everybody needs. Everybody needs clients. Everybody needs leads. Because if they don't have clients, they don't have leads, they don't have a business, is the truth at the end of the day. Because somebody needs to pay them. The reason that I've chosen the problem of client and lead generation is because it's an easy enough sell whereby it's valuable to everybody in the market. And yes, of course, there's going to be some people who already have enough business as it stands, but for the vast majority of people, I am able to go ahead and sell to them. Hence, I choose the problem of client and lead generation, and I'd probably recommend it for anybody watching this as well. Realistically, the only other problem that you can go ahead and solve for somebody is something that's going to save them time, and that's in sort of the social media and the marketing space. And that would be saving the time of having to post on social media, having to edit their videos, having to set up campaigns or anything like that. But ultimately, the whole goal behind this, anyways, is going to be to generate clients and leads. And there's a direct return on clients and leads as well. You can put that into a tangible number form so you can see exactly how much of a return you've made for your clients. And it'll be that much easier for you to go ahead and charge what you're actually worth and make some real money. Now, how do I actually solve client and lead generation for mortgage advisors? I do it through my service, and my service is in Facebook and Instagram ads, as well as content on both of those platforms. It's quite nice because they play into each other, whereby the ads perform better as a result of the content, and the content performs better as a result of the ads as well. And that only generates more success overall. And yes, it does take time to go ahead and learn the service, but at the end of the day, people can come ahead and say, oh, it's going to take me a year to be able to develop the skills that I need to deliver this service. I'm just not going to do it. But the way that I see it, the time's going to pass anyways. 12 months is going to come and there's nothing stopping it. And you can make the choice right now to get started on that path. So you can look back in 12 months and say, yes, I did put in the work. Here's where I've gotten to as a result of it. Or you can just not do it. But in 12 months, I know who's going to be laughing at the end of the day. So the choice is yours. But I know the choice I made 12 months ago, and I know the choice I'm going to make over the course of the next 12 months as well. And hopefully, I'll be in a much better place as a result of it. When it comes to learning how to deliver the service, you can check out the rest of my videos. I discuss service delivery almost exclusively. I don't want to preach on sales, scaling a business because it's something that I haven't done. It will be something that I'll do, and that'll come with time. But for now, I speak pretty much exclusively about Facebook ads. Jordan Platten's a great person to watch. Ben Heath. And when it comes to content, you might want to check out some of the short form guys, Jason Cooperson, Ben Vega, Jaden Young, Devin Jatho, so on and so forth. But that's just for learning the service that I learn. And those are the people that I've learned from to get to the position where I'm at, to be able to deliver the service that I deliver, to solve the problems that I solve. And ultimately, as a result, make any form of money and charge the amount that I do. That is, of course, within the realms of the size of your market. When it comes to actually tracking performance on ads, the number one component that I'm going to look at is the metrics and the numbers associated with them. So for anybody who is looking to learn lessons from this, what I want you to do is go ahead, watch a video of mine that I'm going to be uploading on Instagram this week that talks about the specific numbers and metrics and the importance of them. And you can go ahead and implement this into your own business, track your own ad performance or your client's ad performance. When it comes to content, it's in some way similar, except you're going to be comparing the numbers and the metrics of competitors' ads, analyzing them instead. I said ads, I meant to say content. So what this looks like is drawing up a competitor list, see who's doing well in your space already. Let's say there's somebody in your niche who's already killing it with content. You can go ahead, you can use similar things to them, similar hooks, similar actual value peaks, and similar call to actions as well as offers. And if it worked for them, for their audience, and your audience is the same, odds are it's probably going to work for you too. And yes, like I say, it's going to take time, but it's not supposed to be easy at the end of the day. Whenever you've got this in place, though, it is a massive weight off your shoulders because all of a sudden your only bottleneck to actually scaling that business becomes sales. And whenever you unlock that, there is no limit to how far you can actually take things. And that brings us on to sales. Now, if you don't have people that you can go ahead and sell to, and you don't generate clients for your business, then you don't have a business because there's nobody for you to deliver for. And if there's nobody for you to deliver for, then there's nobody to pay you. And if you're not getting paid, then you're dead in the water. You don't have a business at the end of the day. So for anybody who's getting started and doesn't have clients to go ahead and work with, you should realistically be spending the majority of your time on actually doing outreach and getting those clients. That is, of course, assuming that you have some sort of foundation when it comes to delivering the service and you're confident you can get a certain level of results. So here's my process for actually generating clients and bringing them into my agency for me to work with step by step. The first thing that you need to bear in mind is that you actually need people that you can go ahead and sell to. I'm talking a list of people who will genuinely be interested in your service and actually have the problems that you help solve. I personally recommend that you go into Google Maps, scrape a load of leads from people in your niche in a certain area. So for example, I can pick mortgage advisors in London. I can do a search on Google Maps, scrape those guys using Instant Data Scraper, and then go ahead and fill out the details on them. So I put them into a Google Sheet. I would do first name, personal number, and email. When I'm scraping first names, I can go into websites, I can go into reviews. When it comes to the personal number, if it's on the website, happy days. If it's not, you're probably not going to find it. And when it comes to the email, you can use tools such as Apollo.io, Snov.io, and yes, some of them are paid, but at the end of the day, it's an investment. And if this returns you clients, then that's going to outweigh the amount that you put into it. And that is exactly how business works. Once you've generated a list of people in your niche that you can actually go ahead and solve problems and provide value for, you're going to need to find a way to get in front of these people so you can get them on a call and actually sell to them. And this brings us on to cold outreach. Personally, for me, I would recommend cold calling. This is essentially just ringing a business, offering your service, and trying to get them onto an appointment. For me, I found that it's the most efficient and generates the best results. Alternatively, however, you can go for things like cold email, cold looms, cold DMs on Instagram, Facebook, even just walking into the shop in person. But I obviously can't do that because I work with people in England, despite being based here in Ireland. But once you've gotten them onto the call, then you need to go ahead and actually frame your service in a way that solves their problems, gets them from where they currently are to where they desire to be in business, and convince them that you are the best way and the most efficient way to do that for them. This is essentially sales. But once you've gotten them on board, you need to go ahead and then actually deliver on the promises that you gave to them, or else they're just going to leave. All of a sudden, you'll be building up, building up. All of these clients will be coming into your business, but if you can't hold on to them, you'll burn to the ground just as fast, and it won't really matter at the end of the day. So yes, I know I've gone over all that very briefly. There's a lot more that comes with building a good quality lead list, with actually outreaching to those people and selling to them. Yes, I'll go ahead. I will make videos breaking all of those down. Don't worry. Stay tuned. Check out the rest of the videos that I already have, and there'll be more coming in the future, specifically on how that works. Now, I know there's probably people watching and saying, "Oh, I don't want to do cold outreach to generate appointments," and that's fine. You don't have to forever. For now, you probably do if you're just getting started because you have no other way to actually generate interest. But moving forward in the long term, you can rely on content, inbound, and your own personal brand. And for me, it would be foolish to spend so much time developing my clients' brands and generating leads and inquiries for their business if I wasn't using the same strategies and the same things for my own. So when it comes to the weekends, I look to actually spend my time developing my own brand, filming videos like this, actually promote my Instagram, my YouTube, and my company as a whole. And what this looks like is essentially doing what I mentioned earlier, but just in a different form. So what you want to do is pick your niche. You want your ideal avatar that's going to be watching your videos. And you want to think to yourself, why would this person even be interested in watching me in the first place? Generally speaking, what you're going to be doing is a trade-off. You're going to be offering them value, things that they can incorporate into their business, and in exchange, you're going to be getting attention. And that attention is something that, if used in the right way, you can leverage into meetings, appointments, and generating clients. So for example, I might go ahead and give a particular sales tip to people in my niche because I already have that contextual knowledge. They might go ahead and watch this and find it valuable and generate some business off the back of it. And what that's going to do is generate a certain level of curiosity as to what my full service is and what that's going to look like, which will increase my likelihood of signing a client from that person and going ahead and doing more business as a result of it from my personal brand and my content. So you're going to want to focus on providing as much value as you possibly can to people in your niche, doing it consistently and for a long period of time. Because time is really the one thing that people don't actually take into account when it comes to building a profile and a presence online. And it's going to save you from doing outreach in the long run as well. So you might as well start investing in it now. But at the same time, you want to be saving your weekends for actually delivering for clients. You could do this during the week, absolutely you could, but at the same time, You want to save the middle of the week for your outreach and for your sales to actually generate clients for your business. And this is me speaking to somebody who's just getting off the ground, because if you don't have any clients, you don't have people that you need to fulfill for. So you want to direct your time accordingly. For now, spend the middle of your weeks doing outreach and doing sales. And when it comes to the weekends, for the small amount of clients that you do sign initially, you want to go ahead and deliver for them then. This is essentially the most cash flow friendly approach that you can take. And whenever you do have enough money coming into the business, then yes, you can go ahead and you can create leverage. You can hire team members, you can outsource that delivery so that you can focus on things that will actually move the needle and grow the business further, like developing your sales, developing your service delivery so that more people are interested in working with you. But don't be fooled, I'm not even saying you should consider outsourcing if you're watching this as a beginner. I'm talking about reaching tens of thousands of pounds per month in the first place before you go ahead and do something. The only exception that I probably give you is maybe a VA or a couple of outbound setters for something like DMs, cold calls, emails, anything like that. You want to focus on mastering everything yourself first, because if you don't have a proper overview and a proper insight into each component of your business, how on earth can you supervise anybody else doing it? So if you want to summarize, guys, you want to go ahead and pick a niche, a market that you can sell to, find a problem that those guys face, and develop a service that's going to solve that problem for the people in that niche. The reason that we're only picking one is because we can leverage focus and we can see the benefits of dedicating all our energy to solving one problem with one service for one set of people. Once we've actually done this, we're going to go ahead and just start telling people about it. The way that we do this is through outreach. We want to build a lead list. We want to build a way that we can actually outreach to these guys, be it DMs, cold calls, emails. And then we want to go ahead and sell to them and actually bring them into the business as a client so we can solve their problems. And yes, at the end of the day, you're not going to want to be doing cold outreach forever, because that stuff can get monotonous and boring. So in your spare time, when it comes to the weekends, when you're not selling, when you're not doing client fulfillment, you're going to want to start generating a personal brand and developing your presence online. That way, if you provide enough value to people in your niche, you're going to have them flock into you instead, as opposed to the other way around. And that's where you can really see some leverage. So yeah, guys, that's a quick overview of how to run an SMMA. It's how I run mine, and at the end of the day, it might seem simple. You might be thinking, oh, it's so easy, that doesn't sound difficult at all. There's more to each step, but as a high-level overview, you want it to be simple. There is a reason that there are so few an amount of steps. It's because there's no complexity, because complexity fails, simplicity scales. And that's the truth at the end of the day. You don't want to be going into this low ticket product and this mid ticket product and high ticket and 3 different sales processes, 3 different outreach processes. You don't want any of that. You want to just keep it lean and simple. But if you actually go ahead and follow these steps, they've worked for me, they've worked for other people, they'll probably work for you as well. Just go ahead, actually break each one down until it works for you, and stick with it for a long enough period of time. And whenever you pieced all of these together and actually implemented them efficiently, odds are you'll probably find yourself with a fairly successful SMMA of your own. You can go ahead and actually build a livelihood off of this, get to the stage that you're looking to get to in life realistically. I'm not there yet, not saying I am in the slightest, but that's what everybody's trying, isn't it? That's the whole point of this video. I want to get there, I'm striving every day to get there, doing all that I can, and if I can help anybody else with doing that too, then I want to take that opportunity. That's essentially the purpose of this video, and like I said, I want to help. So if anybody has any questions about any specifics in this video, go ahead, drop them in the comments, send me a DM on Instagram, emmett.lensfusion, and I'll be more than happy to help you out. Appreciate you watching though, guys. Thank you so much.